Hey everybody, it's that time again, and yes, I'm early, and I'm changing times and changing locations, but with the beauty of Facebook Live, it's always available. So today, I want to welcome my new neighbor, Charles Shipp, and some of y'all may recall I met Charles in Cuenca when I first moved to Cuenca. He was managing at a
Blue
B&B I
Door.
went to, and it was like, oh, black people. I was like, yay! I can. And then when I went into town, I met a whole bunch more, and I went, I'm just gonna be fine here. It's all good. But even better, Charles moved to Vilcabamba because this is where the cool kids are. Like we live under this kind of world. And so I wanted to invite him to come out today. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you. Thank
This
you
is
for having me.
lunchtime for him. He's out in the park 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, bro, come on in.
Right.
Welcome and thank you for coming.
Well, thank you again for having me. I'm glad to be
Pleasure.
here.
It's a pleasure. Okay, so today we're not talking about bees. Today we want to talk about Qigong.
Okay.
What is Qigong? Let's start there. It's pretty, but I don't know what to really call it.
Well, Qigong, let's go with the name, Qi and Gong. Qigong means energy work. Qi is the energy, and energy is all around us. The plants give off energy. Energy is on the mountains. Vilcabamba is very, very special because it has special energy. We are down in a valley. The mountains are breathing into the town, and the town is resonating with the mountains. And so basically, in its essence, Qigong is energy work. And of course, that's a very, very broad and generic meaning, but basically it encompasses a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely energy. And what a wonderful description of Vilcabamba. The water and the mountains. It does kind of create this natural vortex here that you can feel a lot of times energetically what's going on in a community or with individuals or just earthwise. We can see what's going on.
Absolutely.
And so you started, how long have you been practicing Qigong? Let me ask that.
I've been practicing Qigong since the 90s, probably mid 90s. And then, I kind of picked up, and it's a journey and a lifestyle because as you practice Qigong, it's like as you seek, so you shall find. So you take one step and you meet practitioners, you learn this person give you a piece of the puzzle, this person. And I was, a big part of that process. I had the privilege of living in the Bay Area for much of my adult tenure, and certainly in the Bay Area they have a real large Chinese and Asian community, and they have a lot of very good and top Qigong practitioners, and so. In that regard, that I think helped me in my processes, being at the right place, the right time, meeting the people that I met. But it's not just the Bay Area, because as I moved around, again, as you seek, so you shall find. Because as you start to work with Qigong or anything else, if you're putting that vibration out, correspondingly, it will, via a law of attraction, you will bring in the people that you need to see, people that you need to meet, the things that you need to share or get from others to further your processes.
Got it. Got it. And so you hung out with the right people at the right time. Did you do any formal study or work with a teacher?
I have, because again, it's a process.
Right.
Qigong is not just energy practices. As you dig deeper and deeper, it becomes a lifestyle. And then as you dig deeper and deeper, again, with the law of attraction, the teachers will show up. When the pupil is ready student is ready, the master will appear.
Quick question. Do we always have to get up so early in the morning? Is there no evening Qigong?
There is.
Okay.
But here is the thing about Qigong and Tai Chi and a lot of the energy practices. You have a 24-hour cycle in a day. Qigong is based on universal laws. And the Chinese use the Yi-Yang as part of their practices. So early in the morning, the energy is expanding. So it's gaining in light. Actually, it starts at 12 at night. 12 at night, the energy is gaining. 5 or 6 o'clock, when that sun hits and the plant and it hits the nature, the plants, they respond. And it's just an abundance of energy. And then as you go on, say like now it's 10, we're getting to the end of that, what they call a yang cycle. And so when it hits 12 noon, you peak at that cycle. And then the yin cycle starts again. So it's like a 12 and 12. You got 12, at 12 midnight, it's gaining. And then when you come to 12 noon, you peak, and then it starts to go down. So you start to go into a yin cycle. So you get yin, then you get 6 in the evening, 7, 8. Everything starts to shut down. The plant life, even the body clock. So the body clock really, in a natural kind of way, that's why they say, well, humans should be in bed at a certain time, and from a natural standpoint. Now, what do people... A lot of people do. They violate the laws of nature. They stand
turn
up
on
there
the lights at night. Right.
Yeah, and they up there 11 o'clock. But that's violating, because you can get to a point where, like for myself, I'm early to bed and early to rise. So, and I've always been that way as a kid. I mean, I was... My family just thought it was the weirdest thing, I was the alarm clock for the family, my dad and mom.
Oh my gosh.
And they didn't have to tell me to go to bed. They didn't say, they was just say, Charles,
nice.
He's on his way to bed. It's 7 o'clock. But again, it's resonating with the natural cycles.
Okay.
Because everything is energy. It's moving forward and back. It's yin, it's yang. The plants resonate with it. If you study nature, the insects, the birds, they resonate with this universal, godly, cosmic cycle.
Interesting. It's interesting you always had an internal clock working in it. It wasn't until I was 25 that I went, oh my God, I'm becoming my mother. I kept getting up earlier and earlier. So now I'm up at 4 in the morning and I'm like, I'm like, it's just old age. And I thought that was that. But there is a natural cycle that we've lost. You're the first one I've ever heard from a child that you've always been in that natural clock. But, so is that something we've lost? Or?
Well, I think so. I think with the modern day of living, people are stress, go. But what's the consequence of that? You're violating natural law. Yeah. You're burning life force. And to be honest with you, everybody has a certain amount of life force. The Chinese say in Qigong, they have pre-heaven and post-heaven. You're born with a certain amount when you incarnate as a baby. You're bringing it over from your parents, mother, father. Right. You have this. And then as you express yourself in your life, you get a certain amount, especially in the way you live. The food, the drink, your lifestyle. And so you know, a lot of people, they don't really take the time to kind of understand this. But, you know, we're at an age now where, you know, I can speak for myself. I'm a senior. And so it's about managing the life force you have.
Sure.
Because it's like having a certain amount of money in the bank. Yeah, you can go and withdraw most of it. You can withdraw it in one or two parts.
Right.
And then when you're out of life force, your life expire.
Right.
Or you can take the money and manage it wisely and properly and extend your life force, and with extending it, have a better quality of life and a quality of living, on and on.
Well, the visual was the burning the candle at both ends, and I don't think we realize how much we do that in our modern lives. Okay. Okay, well, I'm guilty of that, so I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm slowing down, sort of at middle age. I don't know if I'm a senior yet. I think
No, you're not a senior yet.
okay.
I'm a senior.
Really? Is there a particular number that you get senior
That's what they
level?
say, at 65.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know.
I got a little time.
Right,
still.
when you get 65, even here in Ecuador, they give you all kind of special stuff. You can jump in front of the line. You could get receipts and get money back. Certainly, I haven't done all that yet. But
Okay. You're
taking
missing out on your pennies.
Right.
Well, in the U.S., it's the AARP that gives it to us at 50, and that was,
Right.
was at first. It's
Right,
it.
right.
Okay, so now what I liked about Qigong and what I understood about it is, and in the practice of it, is the stamina that it brings to the body with what seems like very little movement. And and before you even answer that, let me go back. What's the difference between Qigong and Tai Chi?
Okay.
Other than the spelling, because I'm
Okay.
pretty.
Well, Qigong is a set of practices that are a lot more universal than Tai Chi. It's energy work, you know. So in Qigong, you have many different types of Qigong. Tai Chi actually is a martial art. Most people don't realize it.
Okay.
It's a fighting practices.
Okay.
And Tai Chi converts to ultimate fist, because basically when you get into martial arts, you have three internal types of martial arts systems. Fighting systems that are developed from Qi. Tai Chi's being one of them. The other two is Zingi Qi, which is straight line fighting, and Bagua Zan, which is movement in circles, based on a Pakwa, based on movement, based on metaphysics. And they're all, the basis of all of them is they dealing with this internal energy that they're able to express in fighting and combat applications. Now, more to your point about Tai Chi, as time has gone on, they have converted Tai Chi, some aspects of Tai Chi, to longevity practices, longevity and healing practices. But that's not to say you don't get that with the martial arts. You get that with the other martial arts. You get that with Bagua. Bagua is based on circles and ellipticals. And again, based on cosmic law, everything is ellipticals. The planets move around. And so when you're talking in terms of Bagua, combat applications, it's based on circles and the Pakwa. And it's very scientific and very metaphysical. Zingi is another internal martial arts that uses certain universal laws, but the applications, unlike Bagua, is straight line combat applications. But in all of them, you get these extraordinary health benefits, because you're dealing with energy, and that's the key.
I'm amazed at the stamina part of that internal core that is built, and the movements are fluid And so there's a lovely fluidity about them that you're not really trying to focus on lifting or memorizing or counting. You just like to go with the flow, and that's what I've enjoyed about Qigong. And so it's interesting to hear you talk about the circles of energy and moving in that. So tell me about stamina. So doing a little bit, what's nice, you don't get the lactic acid burns, which is what I really hate about exercise, because I'm really gung-ho that first day and can pump out a couple hours of workout, then I'm like 2 days later, I'm like, I'll never do that again. I never get out of bed and do that again. But if I get out of bed, I can get over and do some Qigong. So why is it different from other types of exercises that you don't have that burn?
Okay, this is what I found, and I'm going on a lot of experience. Now, I've been an exercise person pretty much for most of my existence. I started when I was a kid going to the basketball court. My dad was a big influence because he was exercise. And later going to the gym and playing squash and tennis and all of these things, running. I ran one marathon. I got to put that in there. A full marathon.
Good for you.
In my 50s.
Okay.
So what I found is that all of these exercises are great, but here's the difference between the energy, Tai Chi, and and Qigong and those kind of practices, and the traditional going to the gym. When you go to the gym and you do all of those practices, you build up energy, but as fast as you build it, it releases. So you can go and get on the treadmill, and you're on the stair stepper. So as you do these exercises, you build this energy up, and then as fast as you done built it up, it's gone. I'm talking about almost immediately.
Okay.
Where the energy practices of Qigong and Tai Chi, as you build this energy up in the body, you keep the energy. So once you keep it, the body says, oh, I got so much to work with. I can use this for healing. I can use that. I can regenerate this. The cells are like, oh yeah, well we got extra, which gives our mitochondria more to work with, on. And then that'll manifest in all of a sudden, you feel better. You look better. You got more energy because the energy that you cultivated is not dissipated as you do in Western practices, going to the gym. So for myself, how does it work? I have no need to go to the gym. I mean, I'm not against it, and it's been times that I've gone to the Y, I've had the health memberships, I play squash and racquetball and tennis and, golf. All these things are fine. But with Tai Chi, I can do these practices and build this energy up, and you can actually see the effects. So all of a sudden you see where, you're not sick. It's reversing certain processes. When you go to the doctor is amazed that your vitals are, oh, well, why are your vitals like that? Oh, doctor, I'm just, which is, it gets kind of awkward for me because when you go to the doctor, well, what kind of medications you on? I don't know medication. What about this? Your vitals? And I try to have to play it off because I can't launch into a whole big. So I just say, well, doc, I'm just, I watch what I eat and I exercise.
They understand that.
Right. Right. So getting back to your question, Qigong and these internal practices, they build the energy up and they keep it within the body. And then the body has so much more to work with. The more it works with, it can repair itself. Because the body is it's very godly. I mean, if you give it a certain amount of energy and nutrition, it'll repair itself. It'll clean the organs. It'll do, it'll wring the fascia.
Ring the fascia?
Yeah, it'll take like you take a rag, a dish rag, and wring the water out. It'll wring the toxins and whatnot out of the organ.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay. My fascia probably needs some wringing out. I haven't moved it like that in a while, so I'm like, okay, let me work on that. All right, so we've got an opportunity. You said something about the holiness of the body, which I hadn't really ever thought about the body. I think of, often I will describe it and talk about my skin suit, mine has wings on it, and it's from excess skin. But thinking of the body as a holy spot is very interesting, other than the Christian background that I remember using that phrase, but really looking at the body very differently. And so can we talk about that, and how are we to respect the body? The eat right and exercise, we know that, but that's not really a respect, that's just like duty. So is there something that we're doing differently with Qigong that says, we honor the body? That's what it feels like anyway.
Well, when I think of the body, I think of godliness, because the Creator made the body in a very intricate way, and
good
the
design.
body,
I like to
right?
say good design.
Good design, exactly. So the body is set up to last a certain amount of time because it houses the spirit. It's the temple that actually houses the spirit, and so it's left up to us to cultivate the body, to do all of the things right via the diet, nutrition, and lifestyle, so that we can get the maximum use of the body and certainly have a good quality of life to advance the evolution of our spirit or our soul bodies. And so that is, in my view, the essence of what the role of the body. The body is very intricate. You can go to any anatomy class. It has all of these many parts, but these parts have to work together. If one part of the body is not working properly, the rest of the body is susceptible.
Yeah. Longevity practices. So this is typically, we've used these people practicing Qigong when they're at their senior stages. Is there a reason? Does it affect our longevity? Well, I know from the exercise, of course it does, but why is it associated that way?
Well, again, Qigong is based on natural laws. And certainly, I think with a lot of people, especially in our age group, what is our, we're not the millennials, what is it?
We're boomers.
Baby boomers.
Right.
The baby boomers are coming more and more into their own, and so your mortality is staring you directly in your face at this point. I mean, even if it wasn't, people are starting to look at, well, what can I do? How can I do it? I have found that the earlier you start embracing these concepts of health and wellness, the better it is for you 20, 30, 40 years out, 50 years out. You do the right things early, and then it'll manifest as right, later on in life. That's not to say that Tai Chi or Qigong cannot help you, because the one beautiful thing about those practices is they can help you at any point.
Right.
You can be in a hospital bed and do Qigong.
Right. Yeah,
Tai
you did
Chi.
tell the story last week about a guy who was in a wheelchair bound.
Right.
And you had him just start with, which one?
It was called, the technique that I had him to do was called stroking the beard. The Chinese give all of these, got a beard, and
Right.
stroking the beard. And basically it's just a circular movement. But again, circles and ellipticals are part of our natural scheme of things. So my friend was wheelchair bound because he was degenerating. He had cancer and a lot of other things. And I told him, I said, well, look, why don't you just try this practice, because you can do this in the wheelchair, you know. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And he did that, and 3 days later, he called me and said, Charles, it's a miracle. You know, I'm up and I can walk. So, but he, you know, was out of the wheelchair, which he thought was phenomenal. And I thought, well, you know, probably just that energy of practice, of that circular practice, probably loosen up. He probably had energetic knots that this practice was able to, at the very least in the short term, to clear. So he was able to get up and start walking. And I told him, I said, hey, you got to continue.
Right.
And see, and that's the big key, because it's not enough to. It's not enough to do it and get results. You got to keep going. Right. You got to keep going. You got to keep practice. You got to practice when you don't even feel like practice. I mean, that's just the nature of
the reality.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was, you know, I thought it was profound that it did help him. And, you know.
Awesome. All right, so I want to see some practice. Ready to practice? What?
Okay.
All right, so we know what, we know why, we know when we have to do it.
Right.
And you were practicing every Wednesday and Friday at
Correct.
In Vilcabamba at the
Pariso Park, the Parquet.
The park right next to
Paradiso.
Hostoria,
Paradiso.
the Park of the Mother. So you can join Charles at 7:30 in the morning on Wednesdays and Friday at the park. And he's not charging you yet, so you better get out there and get the practice going and show up there. But I wanted to have him demonstrate some of the practices because I just find them, you know, they look good and they feel good on the body. So we're going to move around a hot minute, and if you guys will take a position in the grass, I'll stall, and you get to take your microphone with you and go, and then I'll go put them out in the grass, y'all, and we're going to get to see them and see what they're doing, because it's just kind of like why we're here. Hey, everybody, I'm waving now. Oh, Genevieve, how you doing, Mama? Okay. I'm taking the table. Okay, so I have Charles out here. Oh, perfect. He looks good. Ah, so if I just dropped him. All right, I'm just holding it. I was doing it this way. I wanted to jump in with you, so that's why I wanted to come out there. Actually, can you hold that for just a minute on Charles? And I'm going to bring the table. I'll come behind you. Okay, now you can get in position. And Joey, oh, the sun's out. It's beautiful, y'all.
Nice.
Out. Joey is here. She says she wants to get her practice on. And okay, here we go. So, all right, it's Blanus.
All righty. Well, I think the first thing I'm going to show is heaven and earth. One thing about Tai Chi and Qigong, they're always pulling from the elements. And in Qigong and Tai Chi, certain elements in heaven and there's certain elements coming from the earth. And when they get really, really advanced, they bring these together and they fuse them in the body. It's like an internal alchemy, cooking in this area, which is the lower dantian, 3 dantians, and converting it from just general energy to your own personal energy. So it gets at the bottom line. You start to feel better, you start to look different, on and on. So the first technique I'm going to show you, we put our feet a little bit further apart than shoulder width. And we take our hands and we come, with the right hand we're going up toward the heavens, and the left hand to earth in the center. And then we're coming down slowly. This one will go up, and the other one will come down. This is a heaven and earth move, or posture, or technique. So you might say, well, what is this doing? Again, you're bringing energy from the heavens, and you're bringing energy from the earth. In advanced Qigong practices, these elements have different colors. You start to bring the colors in. You can start to bring the energy through points in your hand, because your palms have points that the energy can come in. You start to bring the energy down from the earth. So we'll do 2 or 3 more. Okay. Mm. 2 more. You should feel the stretching and earth. And then we'll bring both hands back to the center. Then bring them down slowly and bring them to the side. Okay. So the next exercise is just a general stretch. Make sure your knees are bent a little bit. And basically I'm going to demonstrate it. You're going up, both hands, and then you're coming down, bending your knees slowly, bending, bending, bending. And then you look up to stretch your neck, and then you're back to that starting point. And then, so you bring both hands together, come down, bend your legs as much as you need to, your knees as much as you need.
That's the trick.
Much as you need. Pull your neck up to look up. You look at Phyllis, Phyllis looking at you. And then we come back up. We'll do 2 more. Okay, we come down. Now, notice what this is stretching. You're stretching here, lower back, which is a lot of energy gets trapped here. Stretch your neck by looking up, and then gradually come up. We'll do 1 more. It feels so good. Stretch your neck, stretch up. Then you can bring both feet together. And then we can pull down the heavens, is what they call this. Okay. Okay, we'll do 1 more?
Yeah.
Okay, well, our next exercise?
I'm on mine this week, so I need to be here.
Our next exercise, we'll bring our feet, make sure our legs are bent so we, And so hands on the hips and going from our right to our left. You just stretch. Back to center. And left. And back to center. Right. Back to center. And left. You should feel Note where you're feeling the stretching and back to center. I'm feeling it in my shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it in my waist. I'm feeling it in my lower back. Right. And back to center. Let's do one more. Left, right, I'm sorry. Back to center. Right. And back to center. Ah. Bring our feet back together. Ah. Take a deep breath. This is called sinking the chi, basically. You're always bringing all that energy back. This is the sun of the body. Just like the planets, all the organs actually are rotating around. This dantian. So yeah.
If I was only wanting to do one practice every day, which would be the one I should do?
Okay, well, since you said that, and I'm going to share that with you. The standing meditation.
Oh, I knew it. Okay.
And basically the standing meditation goes like this. Feet shoulder width apart. It's called embracing the tree, because basically you got a tree in front of you. And you're going to embrace the tree. And you're going to hold that. You can think about whatever. Back is straight. Concentrate on your breathing. This is probably one of the most powerful exercises in the Qigong practices. A lot of Qigong teachers don't even teach this for whatever reason. But a lot of serious practitioners, they say in China you can go and hundreds of people is in this position.
I've seen that, yeah.
Because this one is, so much is going on internally in the body. Energy is starting to circulate, the body is heating up. Your feet is connecting to the earth because the earth is a large magnet. And it's just so much is just going on. You can do this one while you're looking at television. You can do it before you go to bed. You can do it midday, 5 minutes. You can, in conjunction with your breathing, you can practice abdominal breathing, in and out. You could do it out in the backyard patio. There's so many applications to this. Just this one practice. If a person just did this practice, they can benefit tremendously. We'll do one more minute. Of course, your arms get tired, but you're generating heat. You feel heat in your legs and your arms, your shoulders, your neck. I feel it all in my buttocks.
They must be pretty tight. I'm like not feeling it there yet, bro. Like, I need them more. Okay.
Okay, and then we'll just come down. And then we'll bring our feet together and sink the chi. We'll do this 2 times. 1 and 2. Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Well, that works.
Okay.
I feel energized just from that little bit of
Right,
it. I'm
right,
amazed
absolutely.
how much. And I did my little morning routine, but
Right.
this also kicks up energy.
Absolutely. Because you.
In a very internalized way.
Right, right. Well, ideally, you can do in the morning. You can do something midday, and you can resonate and do something in the evening.
Okay. Doable either way.
Right.
All right. Well, cool. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Hey, y'all. Okay, we did it. We have done another morning of something valuable for you. So get out and move and come and see us again. Love you. Bye.